And brother, I'm telling you right now, you deserve more of a thank you, daddy type of situation. Opposed to that, clock dad, as you should, because you know better. Go ahead and make that switch, brother, and then call me back. Thank you.
First of all, girls are always saying, my life is so hard. It's so much harder to be a woman. And guys are like, no, it's not, right? Because it's not. Especially if you're an attractive woman, forget it. It's just not. Attractive women get so much, so easily, right? They just do.
I think your pride is just...
I just think it's funny how...
Tell me why I'll literally get hit on wearing vests.
Men have been saying this and they continue to say this. It's because you are approachable when you look like that. And one of the biggest turn-ons is that if you're out in public like this with no makeup, it means that you are confident. Flip side to that is that if you are constantly dressed to the nines, he's going to see you as high maintenance and he's going to think that you're maybe not as confident. And that makes the latter choice just not as good.
Hey.
But if that man made you pay for anything, he literally hates you. Dump his ass.
It's no small wonder that the comments are turned off on that video, but it never ceases to amaze me how some out there can choose to use certain words because they hold a lot of meaning, like the word hate, but yet don't actually seem to have any concept of the idea what those words actually mean. It's almost like they invented dictionaries for a reason. So I highly recommend that a lot of individuals out there that just like to spew words that they've heard on the internet and think that they sound good in a certain context, start using them.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Hey, one of the smartest things a man can do is ask a woman for some money. Hold up, let me spill real quick. It ain't cause he broke, it's because he paying attention. See, a lot of spend money for months on dates and gifts and all that good, but be too scared to ask a woman for something. Why? Because he's scared of the answer. But a smart ain't scared to test that shit early. Ask her for some money. If she really with you, she ain't gonna hesitate to help you the same way she would expect help from you. And I ain't never in my life met a stingy woman with money when she with a that she liked. But if she start getting defensive, acting funny like you crossed the line, now you done learn something about her. Because the test wasn't even about the money, it was about reciprocation. And a lot of you stay in the dark because y'all be too scared to pop that question. But a smarten up, my...
I'm just girl.
No, it's weird to expect someone to be obsessed with you. It's not healthy. Not only that, but a lot of men have realized that relationships aren't reciprocal. That it's not worth it. That you're not entitled to a man's attention just because you're a woman. Also, it's incredibly entitled to expect someone to just be obsessed with you. And those men typically end up in the friend zone anyways, because you're attracted to the man that doesn't prioritize you, that probably talks rudely to you, that isn't there for you. A lot of good men have seen that and they've caught on where it's like, okay, me being myself and being kind and loving and understanding won't get me very far. And they've noted that.
You missed their pay for
yes, ma'am. All I do is swipe. What's going on, Queen?
This shit serious, bro.
What's wrong, Queen?
Man, nothing. Just leave me alone.
I'm just trying to help make sure.
I don't feel like motherfucking talking.
I'm just trying to say I missed the pay for shit. That's it.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You just said he missed their pay for shit and you don't give a fuck.
Because what kind of fuck you act? I don't care about shit. You want me to talk for the niggas or you don't?
Hey,
like, what is it?
Was you this
way? This that
I missed the pay for shit. Yeah.
You missed their pay for shit,
yes,
right?
Yes, ma'am. All I do is swipe.
Right.
That's like, come on now.
Yeah.
You didn't come in right. Bitch, you keep coming right. You just a horny ass dog.
I feel like you need a hug. That's it.
I don't want to eat this.
You sure?
Why not?
I'm just trying to make your day better. That's it.
What he gonna pay for? You gonna pay for right now?
Man, what you need a ride home? What you need?
I don't need a ride home.
Why do you need me then? He ain't shit
it's
for
okay.
me. He came out here to talk to you and then he said he missed their pay for shit.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60. Long story short, it'll just go back down to 10% when it started at 100.
If a man does this, it's not because he has a problem giving effort. The problem he has is giving that effort and not receiving any effort back. And of course, like early on in dating, that man knows, like he's supposed to give. But at some point, he wants some amount of reciprocation. Because at some point, that man is just trying to figure out if you like him. And if you're never giving effort back, he's really starting to think that you just don't. And then why does it make sense for him to continue investing in someone that doesn't even like him?
That's why you can't just have one, because one can't satisfy everything you
did
bring.
listen.
I did listen. So now what? I got a hood nigga. That's gonna satisfy like the bad boys, you know, like the fun, the living on the edge. Then you got your respectful, nice gentleman guy. Like
8,000 years after the fallout of feminism. Wow, so was that really happening in the black community in the 21st century?
Yeah, that was really happening in the black community. You had older single women basically teaching their grandchildren to repeat the cycle. It's kind of toxic, isn't it?
But didn't the black females know that this was a negative when it comes to family creation? And overall weakens the black community?
Yeah, they knew. We tried to tell them. But they said, I don't need a man, I'm independent, and that gets really annoying. So we just said, all right, let them do whatever the they want.
One look and I yell timber.
Oh, now I see. I expect a man to provide for me completely and worship the ground I walk on, basically. He said, and what will you do for him? I said, I make a mean hot dog. He said, ma'am, call me when you're serious. I'm wanting to pursue a woman who can support a man and a family. I'd love to continue this conversation when you mature.
Love his response. And yeah, fun and games for one or two guys that ask you that question. Great. But you do realize that men are thinking that on the date anyways, right? And if you genuinely are looking to be a wife and potentially have kids, yeah, a man wants to know that you have the qualities that he's looking for. Not only in a wife, but a mother. A lot of women don't have those qualities anymore. And I mean, he didn't seem bothered by what you listed off, even though worshiping the ground you walk on? Come on. The double standard, though, is insane. Us ladies can have a list as long as we want, specify anything that we want out of a relationship. But the moment a man brings up anything or even asks us, hey, what do you bring to a relationship? That's a problem for us?
And you better not be a man coming to my store with a woman, because I will make you pay. I will literally tell her to put her phone and her card away and make you pay.
Your store?
Who are you?
From the looks of it, you appear to be a barista.
So why don't you just fill up my cup of coffee
and shut up?
It's women like this that keep other women lonely, spewing such idiotic nonsense.
Susan B. Anthony would go into cardiac arrest hearing this.
I know for a fact that if a couple walks into your coffee store and the woman pays for the man,
you're making that cup of coffee.
You're not saying.
You're listening to their order and you're making said cup of coffee. And then you're telling them have a nice day.
Flexing for the internet in the humongous 2-6. What are we doing?
The closer you get to 30, the more you realize you don't know in your 20s. And by the time you get 35, that's when reality will hit you and you have to take stock at where you are. And if you're losing or behind, that's your problem. At 40 is when life really starts for a man. And if you've been doing the right things, the better things, putting in the work, life becomes far much more pleasurable at 40. But then, just like you see a lot of women who have the 1,000 C's stare in their eyes, you see a lot of guys at 40 who have the loser stare in their eyes because they got light resumes, few skills, and they've misused their youth, chasing stupid. And now they don't have as much time and they can't make the money and they got to hold on to that job. They got to hold on to the job they have, because if they lose that job, they know if they go into the open market is going to sell them. See, that's the real truth. Value is determined by a market. The market determines what value is. Where are you on the market?
And the funny thing about a lot of this is that the warning signs were there. There's a lot of modern women complaining the warning signs were there. Men been telling y'all that this is about to happen. Men weren't being cryptic about it. They were saying it plain as day. But y'all thought men were just talking. Y'all thought men were bluffing about a lot of stuff. We weren't. It wasn't, I'm not conning you. I'm telling you seriously, this is what I see. And now here we are. And everything that men said would happen is happening. And now you got this surprised Pikachu look on your face. Oh, I told you, stop doing that stuff.
Come on.
You said what?
I said I need help shoveling the car. Come on.
Shoveling the car for what?
For when I'm driving it.
You going anywhere?
I don't know, I might.
When she said, I don't know, I might, I felt bro pain. So you just want me to do it just in case. And I'm sitting here chilling, listening to this bedazzling ass smooth water just matriculate down the waterfall. As I sit here in peace and just imagine that I'm somewhere I'm not. First she came in and turned the light on. Bloop. Like, come on, man, what the fuck?
You've been married for decades, and I'm gonna give you a scenario. You're in the ocean on a boat. It's just you, your wife, your only young child. Your wife and your child get thrown into the water. They're knocked out. You can only save one. The other will. Who are you saving?
I'm saving my wife for sure.
So if it was me, you gonna let.
I would hope maybe I can come back and look for you, but I'm saving my wife.
Okay, break it down, please. Because everybody keeps saying to me, Sarah, you ain't never had kids, so you don't know the real answer. I said my husband. Why do you say mom?
Well, because the fact of the matter is, like, I can have more kids, thankfully, but I can never have a queen, another wife, another life partner, and the woman I love, like your mom. I can never have that in another person, even in another person, because there's something special about that one that you truly love, and you will never have that in another person. So she becomes that diamond in the rough, and that's my life partner. That's who God, the Creator, has given me. I honor that, and I know that, yeah, she would be my first priority. And I would try to save the kid too, but she would be my first priority. And that's that.
I'm the same. And I think what I've learned is you just got to be with the same type of person that thinks the way you think. Because for me, order of family is God, my spouse, my children, everybody else.
So my best friend and I were talking the other day, right? She lives 5 hours away, the audacity to move that far away from me. I'm like, I don't think there's any good men left in this world, because I can back up a boat trailer, loaded or empty. Y'all know that's two different things. I can polish off a 12-pack. Don't be buying me no beer and showing up with a 6-pack. That's just enough to piss me off. I fry my own chicken. Good kind. I pay my own bills. I take care of my youngin'. And I get up and go to work every day. And I come home and I do it all over again. All these men these days are acting like the women. And all the men these days want everything handed to them. And all the women these days are having to act like the man and hand everything to the man. What the
I fully believe that 95% of all men in the United States would have taken a plane ride to Epstein Island.
You know what I fully believe? That there are some individuals out there that are so deluded that they would actually be so desperate for likes and views that they would not only try to convince themselves of such a thing, but others as well. Just imagine having the audacity to accuse 95% of the male population in one country of being so depraved that, well, listen to this.
Even with full knowledge of what was going on there.
Oh, gentlemen, it gets worse.
For most of them, what was going on there would be the feature, not the bug. But the rest of them would be making excuse after excuse to get on that plane.
Just imagine the level of loathing that a person would have to hold in their hearts towards an entire population of people. Might I add, based on a characteristic that they have no control over, to say such things. Quite frankly, it's women that say things like this that honestly sometimes make me embarrassed to share the same gender as them.
So I just got back from this event, and what is wrong with men? They have lost the art of approaching. Like, if we make eye contact, and we make eye contact multiple times, that is your sign. That is your sign that I am interested, that the girlies are interested, and that is your sign for you to come up to us and talk to us, because that is the okay. What's funny is that my 50-year-old coworker was like, what's wrong with your generation? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, your generation, the men in your generation are a bunch of pussies. And it's like, and I'm like, what? They're like, nobody approaches women. And so like when I approach women, it makes me look like a weirdo because women are not used to getting approached anymore. And I'm like, I don't know about that. No, you know what? He was right, because I witnessed that today. I was like, wow, I was at this event. So many fine men made eye contact so many times with this one guy, kept looking at me, and I kept looking at him. Nothing. It's like, okay, so like, you're not gonna say anything, bro? So like, do women have to do the approaching nowadays? Because that's not happening. If you think that's what's gonna happen, that's not what's gonna happen.
Women who bash men for being vulnerable with their emotions with them.
They raggedy. Ladies, if a man opens up to you and chooses to be vulnerable with you, then that is an opportunity for you to show that man that he is safe with you. But if you're not ready for that type of man, go on out here, enjoy yourself a dating experience, stop looking for something real. But a man needs somewhere safe too. And if you're not willing to be that safe haven for him, girl, you don't have nothing coming. You don't have nothing coming. What do I look like expecting you to provide for me, to protect me, do all the decision making, to make sure that our home is protected and it's safe and it's all of these different things. I'm respected. You're open and honest. What do I look like doing that? But I can't even be somewhere safe for you to come lay your head at night.
That's crazy.
What do I look like disrespecting you or making you feel like less of a man when the truth is we're all human?
Because K. Michelle said that that's a weak man.
I hate that she said that.
I'm sorry.
I hate that she said that.
Because she said she don't want no weak man crying all over her. These women they want a man that lifts the weights, that has 30-inch biceps with the six-pack.
But you know
and
what?
6+ inches with a good head of hair.
You know what?
$6:30 in the morning. What's your problem?
I know, but that's me.
What's dumb about it? Explain yourself. What's dumb about that?
What? That I piled the shoes all up so that I could vacuum the floor?
No, that every morning I gotta dig through a whole bunch of shoes to get to my knowing I wear them every morning.
Well, I didn't pile them, and with everything, I left them easily accessible.
Easily accessible. So when all them shoes fall, you gotta pick them up. You ain't
I'm going to bed. You can make sure to pull them out without them falling.
set my over here and stack your in there.
Put your single day when you get home, and you don't have to worry about where I stack.
I gotta walk around this mouth every day to try to find something. Where did she put the socks? I'm looking for them they're in the living room.
A whole basket.
They're not in the bedroom where they're supposed to be.
Look, I love to be organized myself, but I kind of have to take his side. Because I bet you anything that man has one pair of work boots, and he wears them every single day like he said. You could literally just set them by the door and he would be fine. You could probably set them outside in the garage and he would be fine with that. What isn't fair is to pile up his stuff like this and make it more challenging for him, especially 6:30 in the morning when he's about to work probably a 12-hour day. The man is tired. Show him just a little bit bit of respect and don't make things harder for him.
I've been a men's rights advocate for almost 5 years, and I just had the most upsetting epiphany, not just about men, but about my own life. Because I've been asked for years and years, why do you advocate for men? How do you understand men so well? And I was talking to somebody who runs a charity in Australia for prevention the other day, and he asked me the same question: how do you relate to men? And my answer shocked me. I grew up with a lot of trauma, a lot of abandonment. I grew up in social services. I had to rely on myself. I had to raise myself. I didn't have proper people to teach me morals, to teach me how to communicate. So therefore, I ended up becoming an emotional shut-in, very angry, on the streets. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't ask for help. I ended up extremely for the majority of my life, and that is what has allowed me to understand the everyday average man. Going through extreme trauma and made me function the same way that we force men to function in society. A well-rounded man in society is one who defends himself, who relies on himself, who doesn't communicate when he gets upset, who just buckles up, who doesn't give a shit about his own issues, but has to be there to solve everybody else's. That is supposed to be a well-rounded man. But for me and for other women out there who function in the exact same way, we are labeled as women who are living through trauma responses, which means that we raise men to be traumatized. We groom them to have the same traumatized brain, but without the direct trauma, which means that to be a man is to be traumatized.
No. The thing that you'll find with a lot of men is that they used to try to explain themselves. They used to actually try with a lot of these women. But you continue to hear how women talk about men, and men have gotten to the point to where they're like, well, they start to say something. Like you'll hear them start to say something, but then you're like, wait, why am I explaining myself? She don't pay my bills. Why are we having a whole entire conversation? She's not listening at all. And so you're starting to see men retreat from all of that nonsense and just go do their own thing, just turn and walk away. Oh, he just looked and he didn't approach. Yeah, juice really isn't worth the squeeze, basically. Oh, he didn't even go back and forth. Right, because arguing with you is just pure foolishness.
No, let him go.
Your boyfriend committed armed robbery. That's 15 years.
No, there's been a mistake. Andrew, tell him.
I'm sorry, Liz.
What?
I just wanted to give us the life we deserved so badly. It just wasn't happening fast enough.
No, I don't need anything else. I like our life.
I'm so sorry.
15 years isn't forever. We'll get through this.
No, we won't.
What?
You can't stay with me.
But routine.
I'm going to prison for 15 years.
No, babe, I don't care.
You'd miss your whole life.
We can do visits.
I'm sorry, my decision's final. I won't write, I won't take visitors because you have to leave. Now promise me you'll move on, you'll meet someone, and start a family.
I can't.
Your happiness is the only thing I have now. I need you to promise me.
No.
Please. Please.
Okay, I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to meet someone, live my life, start a family.
There it is.
We were right.
Unfreaking believable.
What?
It was a test, babe. To see if you had an ounce of loyalty. I did what I did for us.
You made me promise.
You said you'd meet another guy?
Yeah.
You know guys gross me out.
I thought you were going to prison.
For armed robbery? You know I'm scared of guns. You can't even do that Buzz Lightyear ride at Disney World. Thank God we did this. Could have spent my whole life in that prison.
Yeah. Want to try it on my wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it.
So ladies, understand something. The men who come to you, who are telling you this, normally if this was a state of nature, we would get rid of men like that. They're only allowed to live to cause problems. Because like it or not, man, he shows you he loves you by keeping it from you. So now you're 29 years old. That's fine. And if fidelity is your breaking point, cool. Then be prepared to date a man who is lesser than you. A beta. But he'll be loyal because he has no other options. Like it or not, ladies, successful men exercise options. And if they don't, it's because they choose not to.
Gotcha. So only beta males won't cheat?
Men are basically as faithful as their options. You had an attractive, successful husband. But did he do the right thing? He proposed to you and he wifed you. And the only reason you found out about it wasn't because he was being sloppy. It's because a punk came and told you, hey, by the way, did you know your husband was doing this? How do you think men look at men like that? You think we respect men like that? No, we would get rid of them because they cause chaos. Now you got a broken heart and trust issue because of a beta male. Did your husband say he wanted a divorce?
I told him that I wanted a divorce, that I didn't want to be with him because our whole marriage was a lie.
No, it wasn't. It was real. It wasn't a lie, it was real.
He didn't fight me on it though. He just agreed.
What is he supposed to do when you say you want a divorce? But what bothers me is the women allow people to come wreck your homes and to put a battery in your back and wind you up to go break your own home.
Here's the thing about good men, okay? The type of men that many of you say don't exist anymore. They do exist, they just have high standards. So if you are the type of woman who calls other women vain for maintaining a lean physique, taking care of themselves, buying nice clothing, always looking nice, then you will not attract that type of man that has those high standards. If you are the type of woman who puts yourself on a pedestal and views yourself as the prize and cannot take any form of constructive criticism in order to raise those standards for yourself, you will not attract that type of man. If you bring constant attitude problems, you will never attract that type of man. If you are constantly playing games, you will never attract that type of man. A man who has his life together does not need you to come into it and create chaos. He simply just wants peace. The reality is the majority of women want a top 1% man. Meanwhile, they are 30 pounds overweight and bring nothing but attitude problems to the table. It's because of this mentality in our society that women are the prize and don't need to bring anything to the table because they are the table. When in reality, a man who already has his life together wants someone to come into that and join him and make his life better, not make it chaotic, not have to constantly beg you to raise your standards for yourself. So here's the thing, we often make a list of all the traits that we want in our ideal man, but we rarely make a list of the traits that we need to cultivate in ourselves in order to attract that type of man. I'm going to use the fitness example just because it's the easiest, but if you want a man with a ton of muscle, who's in shape, who goes to the gym, who has a six-pack, you also better be in shape and going to the gym and taking care of yourself. This is just common sense. So yes, have high standards for the person you want to be with, but also cultivate those high standards within yourself.
Please make it make sense. Why do guys that I'm interested in end up not wanting to pursue me?
Because they are the same guys that everyone is interested in.
And then guys that I'm not interested in pursue me and pursue me hard and do not give up.
Because those are the guys that nobody is interested in.
Please make it make sense.
Okay. Human beings are born with a sense of fairness. We like to think that the universe is fair and everything evens out, but it's not and it doesn't. We think that things work a certain way, but it's actually just a feeling that we need to have, otherwise life would be a nightmare. We like to believe that there is someone out there for everyone, but in reality, it's only a few guys that are attractive to all the girls. The rest of these guys are practically invisible until they do something extra and then you notice them. In other words, they have to make up for their lack of attractiveness by being extra nice. That means that all women dream of being with just a few exciting men, so there's not enough to go around. So if we match 1-to-1, that means that most women will never get what they're looking for. This used to work better because women kind of had to get married when they had less power, so most people would match 1-to-1. But now that you have your own money, we don't match 1-to-1 anymore. We threw all those rules out the window, and now everything is a mess, because women are no longer marrying who they must, and instead, they are pursuing who they want, and it's all the same few guys. Let's say this is you. This is the guy that you're looking for, and he isn't interested in committing because he's got all the attention he can handle, and so does he. And here is the guy who's looking for you, and you're not interested in him, and neither is anyone else. Except maybe her, but then he doesn't want to commit to her either. To make matters worse, dating apps give people the illusion of more options than they really have. So when you say,
please make it make sense,
that is your brain trying to believe that people naturally pair off with someone at their own level. But that's not how nature works. Nature makes all the women want these few men, and then these men want these women who are not interested because they want Prince Charming, although Prince Charming is busy. And then these girls way down here are pursuing these guys who don't want to be seen with them. People love to forget that we are nature, we are animals, and we have a lower biological nature. And nature doesn't say, I should pick someone appropriate for me. Nature says I should get the best I possibly can, which creates a market. This website on walrus reproduction says that one male is shared by 23 females. At certain points in our history, 17 women reproduced for every one man, and throughout all of history, only 40% of men reproduce compared to almost 90% of women. So this is not new. It's just what male mammals do when nothing stops them. And if you want to go back to everyone matching one by one, then you have to go back to the rules that made it happen. But you said you didn't like those. So the reason that people no longer pair up one by one is that freedom makes society collapse. This guy wrote a book about it, and just look at him. He tried to warn you. Here, I know none of you are going to read this. The whole of human history does not contain a single instance of a group becoming civilized unless it has been absolutely monogamous, nor is there any example of a group retaining its culture after it has adopted less rigorous customs. So the reason the guys you like don't like you, and the other way around, is because that's what people do.
You know, every time a man tried to speak on this type of stuff, every time he tried to give his opinion, oh, you bitter, oh, you insecure, you intimidated, you're not a real man. That's all you. That's the only response you can get from a lot of these modern women. We couldn't. Oh, you got mommy issues. Oh, you got daddy issues. So you a narcissist. All that other stuff. Anything to not listen to what the man was actually saying. But fast forward now, you find out, oh, he wasn't bitter. He was just trying to tell you, realistically, he was being real with you. Realistically speaking, this is what you're about to see. He's trying to warn you. And now it's happening. Now it's happening. Now a lot of that nonsense that modern women have been doing out in the dating market, karma is hitting them. And now that karma has been reintroduced into their lives, now they finally getting it.
What can guys do to stand out in getting girls?
Oh, be funny, charismatic, laid back as well.
Laid back?
Yeah, definitely laid back. Not too nervous.
You've no thoughts?
I don't know. I want guys to stop approaching us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she wants guys to stop approaching girls. You don't though, right?
No, I feel like it would be nice if a guy is nice and he's like, oh, you look beautiful today.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to know you. Just a gentleman.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I feel like in this day and age, it's like nobody really does it anymore. Like it's so rare.
Yeah, it's all
like
dating apps now. And
men have to know when to do it. Like if you see me in a rush, I don't want you to stop and
that's true.
get to know me.
Okay, but what if, let's say she's at a coffee shop, like what we're doing right now?
That's okay, but don't be pushy. And also, if I say no, just go away.
Yeah.
I have a question though. If you're walking down the street and you don't want to be approached, and a guy approaches you and says the right thing, is there a wrong time to be approached?
No.
Yes.
I think it's chemistry, definitely. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
Intuition.
Yeah.
You can feel if someone's being weird and a freak, or when someone's being genuine and he's genuinely I think it'd be nice if a guy seen you and he was like, yeah, wait, well, you can't just let go now, you know?
That's true.
I'd love to get to know you.
There has to be some kind of tension. It has to be kind of funny.
But okay, I have a
guys.
question. If he's overly slick and he's he just sways you straight away.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be walking into the toilet and he'll be like, hey. Yeah.
Didn't even need to go
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so funny, charismatic, and it doesn't matter where you approach. You just got to be funny, charismatic, and laid back. It's all on intuition. Thank you so much, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. What are your names?
Zarina.
Nice name.
Omnia.
Nice to meet you, Omnia and Zarina. Ciao.
Why does nobody ever talk about the weirdest concept that a lot of these high conflict baby moms have, where they want to make fake social media accounts to stalk the new wife or the new girlfriend? How many fake accounts, how many fake phone numbers, how many, fake things do you need to do, and how many people do you have to get involved to confirm this narrative that supposedly the new wife or the new girlfriend is so horrible and harmful for your children, but you don't think it's harmful that you're being absolutely psychotic, like stalking somebody to the extent that you're stalking them without ever knowing them, without ever trying to get to know them, without ever talking to them, and your only perception of this person is like what you've stalked on social media. And then the up part about it that nobody talks about is these high conflict baby moms will then turn around and actually put their children in it, like, oh, I'm doing all of this psychotic behavior for my children. I'm trying to protect my children from danger. Meanwhile, she's still got different dudes all over her house, coming in and out of her children's lives, can't settle down, doesn't have any stability, doesn't make any money, depends on everybody else, but yet she's more worried about a stranger on the internet that she refuses to get to know. She refuses to make time to get to know this person. She refuses to be a respectful adult in a co-parenting situation, but yet she doesn't see herself as part of the problem. And let's just call it what it is. These women that do this weird psychotic are jealous, angry, resentful, because guess what? They're seeing their baby daddy in real time step up for their kids and step up for the new girlfriend or the new wife in ways that he never did for her. So she's pissed off because she left him, ruined their relationship, thought that the grass was greener on the other side, and then she's realizing, like, if I would have just put in effort on my side, maybe my marriage would have worked out. Oh, I'm pissed off because he's stepping up more for her than he ever did for me. And she's resentful and she takes it out on the wrong person. And then she's jealous at the fact that the kids love the new stepmom. And, you know, she can never, ever compare to someone or even comprehend how somebody can step up to the level that, you know, the new girlfriend or the new wife has, because she's someone that is incapable of stepping up for a man's child or somebody else's child that's not her own. Like, why does nobody talk about how weird it is that these women will spend more time making fake accounts than they will trying to get to know someone that has essentially stepped up for their children? Oh, and the best part about it is when the new girlfriend or the new wife gets sick of being treated like and bullied by everyone around, high conflict baby mom, and she starts calling her out for her toxic behavior. Now the new girlfriend or the new wife is, you know, toxic, unhinged, can't be around the kids, even though the new wife and the new girlfriend is just protecting herself, defending herself, and still she'll show up for those kids 100%. Somebody make it make sense. Okay, bye.
Yes, I have a kid.
Once more, our dating lives are reflective. Viewer discretion is advised.
But I don't want to date a guy with any kids, and here's why. Unless you're like a widower, why are you single? What did you do? What did you do to the mother of your children? Because I know that girl did not want to break up a home. She did not want to do that. She did not want to be a single mother. I'm speaking from experience.
Ma'am, your anecdotal experience does not speak for the mass majority. Not only that, just because someone doesn't want the family to break up doesn't mean that they don't do things for the family to break up. You ever seen someone cheat on their spouse but still say, I want to keep my family? Yeah, it's no different from that. They might actually want to keep their family, but that does not now mean they're not doing something to separate their family. And for you to firmly believe that every time a woman is a single mother is because the man did something lets me know that your brain is not fully developed. And you truly do not see the world for what it is. You see it for what you want it to be. And I'm sure we all can agree having a mindset like that has never been proven to be effective.
Literally, I told the father of my child, like, every time he did something wrong that any person would leave in a relationship for, I would literally beg him to be normal and to get his life together and to be responsible, because I did not want to be a single mother. Did not.
I want you to take a step back and think about your actions. You had to beg a grown man to get his life together because deep down you did not want to be a single mother. Why would you lay down with a man like that and reward him with the greatest honor that a woman can give a man, which is a child? Like, you do know you put your life on the line for a bum, someone that clearly doesn't respect you or value you enough to get their together together. And I don't care what you tell me, he didn't start acting like that after the baby. He was like that before. But instead of holding him accountable, or holding yourself accountable, better yet, and leaving the relationship, you stayed. And now look at you, sad as can be. So yeah, you might not have wanted to be a single mother, but that doesn't mean you didn't do things to be a single mother. You see how that worked?
So if you, sir, have children, child, anything, and your baby mama is not on drugs and you have full custody of your children, yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want, oh, maybe she cheated on you. Okay, yeah, you probably started it. Let's just be real. I do not want a man with a child because something happened and it's his fault usually. I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, his fault. And you can say that I'm in whatever you want. All the men in my comments are going to be like, shut up. Already shut up. You haven't even said anything. Shut up. Thank you.
Spoken truly like a single woman that can't get what she wants. Yeah, with a mindset like that, dating a man with kids should be the last thing that you should be worried about. You clearly have bigger problems, and your mindset being one of them. But you know what? I know she ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep it change.
You're either in love or you're being swindled.
Here's how this woman views dating. I'll let her explain.
So this is our dating chart. You're either in love or you're being swindled, and you're either having fun or you're bored as hell.
So it's fun versus bored, and then it's in love versus being deceived, I guess? And of course, there's no indication of like, is this a good idea? Is it good for you? Are there any metrics by which you're measuring these things? And then, do the men you're dating have any feelings about the situation besides, I guess, swindling is an emotion? Let's see how they use this to make decisions.
So if you find somebody and you're in love and you're having fun, you marry them.
Oh, that explains this. So according to her, fun plus love equals marriage, and we don't need to know anything else.
Yeah, I do.
If you're having fun, but they're swindling you, they're a fuckboy.
So they seem to have figured this out. Good.
Yep, facts.
If they're swindling you and you're bored,
get out.
Get out of here. Just go.
Okay, so then swindle plus fun equals stay, so then they have not figured this out.
And if you're in love with them and they're boring, if they're hot and it's rich, it's okay.
Now I know where all those women went. Okay, after 3 weeks, be rich.
But if they're not that, then again, ignore them.
Okay, some things are falling into place. If not hot, rich, love, then ignore.
Yeah, stay for the money, leave if they're not. And Maria, where would you place yourself?
I would put myself in love, having fun. They are having fun, but in lust. So that sucks for me.
I'm being Tinder swindled and kind of bored.
So there you have it, a room full of women agreeing that these are the choices that they have and not... I also found this gem in the comments. So I thought it would help out here, and I created the Women's Cubic Dating Decision Matrix, the WOQ for short, that's catchy. I have preserved the love to swindle axis, and I kept fun, more and less. And I thought I would include a third variable. Is this a good idea? That expands the square to 8 cubes, and smart is going to be towards the front. So these girls said that if you're in love and having fun, then you should get married, and I want you to consider whether or not that's a good or a bad idea, because if it's not, then maybe you shouldn't do that. I'm going to call that the don't box. Of course, if you're having fun, love, and it is a good idea, then go for it. Now, I know this is crazy, but I'm going to add the entire swindle volume to the don't list. That's very rare for it to be smart to get swindled. That leaves just 2 cubes, the boring love area. I'm going to recommend against stupid boring love. That sounds bad. That leaves just smart boring love. I'm going to create a third category for that, reconsider. You may remember she said only if he's rich and hot, which I guess can be boring. If you want money and looks and excitement, you're going to be looking for guys who are just really busy. So even if you think this is you, even she's not getting all of his attention. Fun, rich, hot love doesn't always work out. This is the guys who are busy back here. If you're optimizing for fun, that's going to create this excitement chaser pattern where when you get bored, you're going to drop someone and leave for someone more fun. Those are measurements of overall excitement. And fun guys are pretty busy, so when you ask for commitment, he's probably just gonna say no and bring someone else on board, and you're gonna be in this repeating pattern of being swindled. So here again is excitement plotted against time in a stability-optimized relationship. This right here is being bored, and this right here is a fight. And that would be the reconsider option. Just think about what happens later if you choose boring instead of excitement. Hope that helps.
You're either in love or you're being swindled.
Can we please normalize men coming up to women again?
No. No, we can't. I'm afraid culturally that moment has passed. And the reason it's passed is both simple and complex. The good men, the men you'd actually want to approach you in public, they either understood originally or came to understand all of the things that have been communicated in the popular culture in the last, 10 or 15 years. Men have heard and understood. Me too. Time's up. I choose the bear. Yes, all men. It's all men until it's no men. I don't need a man. Catcall video. I don't want your drink. I'm just out with my friends. Please leave me alone. Stop staring at me. You creep. We understood these things. Okay? And don't get it twisted. I'm not blaming this on women. I'm not. Women had every right to say those things because, frankly, a lot of dudes are a problem a lot of the time. You know? I mean, I was raised to be respectful because I'm a very large person. I'm like a 6'5", 310-pound linebacker built dude, and my parents drilled it into me pretty early to never be scary, frightening, threatening, or aggressive. So I've just always been kind of a hang back type. But any man who listens when you speak, any man who understands that women have a right to just live their lives without being treated like objects, they heard all of that, and they understood it, and they internalized it, and now they don't approach you because we get it. You know, we understand. You're just on the bus. You're just at the gym. You're just at the bar. You're just out with your friends. We're not going to bother you because you've made it clear that we're bothering you. And we don't want to be part of the problem. So as much as it would be great if somebody could approach somebody, maybe you guys could approach us. Maybe women could approach men. And then maybe you'll sort of see why we don't want to do it anymore. It's nerve-wracking. There's a lot of anxiety with that. The pressure has been on men for generations to be the ones that initiate social contact, and that's not easy. And again, do not get it twisted. I'm not trying to pretend that things like SA or harassment are equivalent to a little bit of butterflies that a man might feel over walking up to a woman in public and saying, hey, do you want to get a drink? But it's still not easy. So let's not pretend it is. But the other side to that coin is men, most men that you would talk to, most straight men who are into women, would really enjoy it if women came up to them in public. Like just a woman coming up out of nowhere and saying, hey, you're cute. I think I'd like to buy you a drink, or would you want to grab a coffee sometime? We'd be thrilled about that for two reasons. First, because like I said, the pressure has been on us for a long, long time to be the ones to initiate that social contact, to break that ice. And it's nerve-wracking. But also because then we know it's wanted. Then we know who's interested in us. So often we misread social cues, or we see somebody we think might be flirting with us, and we sort of like send a drink over or say, hey, I noticed you from across the bar. And then it's just like you giggle behind your hands, you talk to your friends, you turn us down, you shoot us down, whatever it is. If you come up to us, then we know that we haven't been misreading your signals, right? So that takes the pressure off. It's a huge relief, and most men would be thrilled. I know I would be. I don't speak for all men. I'm not trying to monolith women or men with this. I'm just saying that the way that gender politics and the sort of dynamic breaks out between straight people, most men would be very, very happy to be approached by you. So, give it a shot. Because, a lot of guys just aren't doing it anymore because we don't want to be part of the problem. So, no, men are not going to approach you, at least not the ones you want to. And if you see a guy out in public who you think might be interesting, go ahead and give him a shot. What's the worst that could happen? You've been saying that to us for a while, right? What's the worst that could happen? So, yeah, ball's in your court, I guess. Good luck.
What the crazy part about this is you'll listen to some of these ladies in some of these situations. I know some of these clips are pretty funny or whatnot, but you listen to these ladies and they be talking about how they outgrew a man, when really it's the other way around. The man outgrew you. You still have a lot to learn. Well, I go to therapy and I don't want to hear nothing about no therapy when I'm listening to your attitude, when I'm looking at how you act. That's the wildest part. You think that you're outgrowing the man and the man then outgrowing you. You thought you were the prize. But you come to find out, oh shoot, I'm actually the same person. I'm actually worse. Since I've been in this relationship, I'm actually worse. This man actually grew. This man actually leveled up. This man actually started doing things to get better. And I'm still talking about the same stuff, doing the same stuff that I was doing 5 years ago. And then I look up one day and dang, this man is sitting me down for the talk. Hey, listen, we're not going to work out. You a nice girl, but you still out here trying to fight everybody. You still got an attitude. You still don't get along with my family for some reason. My sisters and my brothers and my mom and my dad been trying to take you out to eat on and get to know you. You anti-social. You want to shake your behind in the club? No, ma'am. Absolutely not.